guys, welcome back to another video. So Xbox is pushing out a major update for Xbox's voice chat. I mean, Xbox overall, if you've been involved in it from the beginning of Xbox Lives, especially in the Xbox 360 era, there has been just insane stuff being said over Xbox Party Chat in game chat for first-person shooters like Call of Duty. It is something that just came with the territory when it comes to Xbox. I've been on Xbox all the way since the OG Xbox, and people being extremely toxic in party chats or in game chats never really bothered me. I just thought it was a part of what it was. Never took too much offense to it, and people have come at me. I'm sure I've said some stuff on these party chats or these game chats that wouldn't say in real life, but it was just kind of a part of gaming, I would say. I don't know how else to put it. It's just what it was. And now Xbox is really stepping in to try to moderate this by adding a new feature to actually be able to report audio clips. And they're saying to do this to clean up Call of Duty lobbies and just clean up gaming lobbies in general. Now, this is the new thing that's going to be rolling out to Xbox insiders, obviously, before it rolls out to everybody else. Generally is what they do with new features, and you're going to be able to capture and submit 60-second audio clips of inappropriate voice chat. And the Verge interviewed the Xbox GM of Trust and Safety, Kim Kunis, talking about this feature, saying, if a player experiences something in our community that they don't like and they want to report that to us, they have a variety of different options for doing that. We do moderation proactively on text, on images and videos, and launching reactive voice moderation is about that audio portion of it. Now, they go on and they talk more about this because I think a lot of the concerns about something like this implemented would be, is Xbox always listening? Are they proactively listening to all of these party chats and recording all of the audio that you say within Xbox Live? And they kind of go over this, and she says, recording is strictly done through the reporting functionality, and it's only available for moderation purposes. So it's not something that the player can save or share separately from that reporting mechanism to us, which I think is a good thing, because people would definitely abuse the heck out of the system to take voice chats and go on social media and just do all this crazy stuff with it. And the clips are actually reviewed by human moderators, not an algorithm. They say your context will be important to how Xbox will make the moderation decisions, and players will also have the ability to submit additional text with it. Now, the clips captured for moderation are deleted after 24 hours. So it's not like you clip it and then you get to keep it forever, which I think is also a good thing. And Kim Kunis says here, we recognize that things evolve over time, and we need to continue to shift our approach on our processes to ensure that there is a fair review and appeals process. So this is how this thing is going to work out. They are right now testing it in the US, Canada, Great Britain, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. But Xbox voice reporting, we're at that point now. Xbox is deciding here they want to clean up party chats and game chat. So I think one of the things a lot of people will be concerned about when they hear this is that, is Xbox going to be spying on everything that you're saying? Obviously, Kim Kunis here says that that isn't going to be the case. But I mean, I was a part of the era. A lot of people, I'm sure, who watch my videos played Xbox during the Xbox 360 era, where literally you were hearing the most heinous stuff on party chats or in-game chats, people just saying crazy things, and you just kind of ignored it. And if people were pissing you off, you literally just blocked them and stopped engaging with them if it was really hurting you that badly. I mean, that's been a feature you've been able to do forever, which is block and ignore. Now they're taking it a step further, where you're going to be able to record and try to report people and get them banned and all that type of stuff. My concern is it going to be abused? Are people going to try to make clips out of context, and is Xbox going to be able to see the entire context when they are submitted? And will people just start getting banned unjustly because you have a player on one team or even on the same team that is pissed off at another guy because they lost or something along those lines? Hopefully that doesn't occur, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'll probably never use this, and I'll probably just end up blocking people if they are still annoying me to such an extent that I'm feeling like I have to do something about it. All right, let's jump over here and talk about some more games that are going to be coming over to Xbox Game Pass at some point in the future. And these are games from Blizzard. I know the other day we saw the leak or mistake, or whatever you want to call it, of Diablo 4 coming over to Xbox Game Pass, and Mike Ybarra came out and shot down those rumors, which isn't surprising because the deal hasn't closed yet, so he can't say whether it is coming to Game Pass. He's just going to make it seem like it's going to be status quo. Now, when the deal closes, I think that is going to change, and Diablo 4 will be entering Game Pass at some point. But Diablo isn't the only game Blizzard makes. I mean, right now, they're obviously known for their World of Warcraft, their Overwatch, their Diablo. They have games like Hearthstone, game I would love to see them bring back sometime in the future. StarCraft. They make some incredible games, huge IPs, and it looks like, yeah, Mikey Barr comments on this and saying that they are just getting started. He took to Twitter, and this is what he said. He said, "We have so much coming from such talented teams. Some people told me years ago Blizzard was a sleeping giant. To them, I say the sleeping giant is awake and in full force. Players are at the center of everything we do and always will be. We are just getting started." So expect more games coming from Blizzard. Hoping for some new IPs. And again, I'm hoping they bring back a game like StarCraft, even if it is just on PC. Or maybe what I would love to see them do with a lot of their games once they become first-party Xbox game studios is getting those controllers adapted for an Xbox controller. We've seen games like Halo Wars and Halo Wars 2 and how well that type of game works with a controller with a great control scheme. You could definitely do that with a StarCraft. You could do that with a World of Warcraft for sure. So I really hope that they do end up working on that and then dropping these games on Game Pass Ultimate, where it will be accessible via PC and via console. Now, when we talk about another first-party studio, Tango Gameworks. Hi-Fi Rush, one of my favorite games this year. I think it should be up there as a Game of the Year nomination still so far in July. We'll see what happens by the end of this year, but I think it was one of the best games to be released this year. And it looks like the next game that they will be working on is going to be using Unreal Engine 5, which is great to hear as more studios are moving over to Unreal Engine 5, where we've seen some incredible things that can be done with it. Now, this comes via a LinkedIn profile of Tango Gameworks character artist Masahiro Matsumura, and it says he is currently working with 3D animation software Houdini along with Unreal Engine 5, Maya, and Substance Painter for the development of environments, effects, and character creation. Now, this is an unannounced project. We would assume. We don't know what the next game that they will be working on. Is it going to be another Evil Within? Is it going to be another Hi-Fi Rush? Is it going to be a brand new IP coming out from that studio? Wouldn't mind to see a brand new IP again. I mean, we have Tokyo Ghostwire, which was a new IP. And if they had another one, that's just a large catalog coming from Tango Gameworks, which I think is awesome because the studio does make great games. And it is great for Japan as Xbox is trying to get more games out there from their first party content. So Unreal Engine 5, I can't wait to see what games from Tango Gameworks, I should say, how they would look in this engine. Finally, let's end off this video talking about PlayStation, talking about Sony and the direction that Sony is going. One of the things with the Xbox Activision Blizzard acquisition, I think Sony was sitting there thinking that if this goes through, they're going to have to accelerate their plans on shifting their strategy. We all know people look at PlayStation for their consoles, their console exclusive, and the quality of their games, and that's what their fans love to tout all the time. And we've slowly been seeing PlayStation shift their strategy more to the Xbox strategy, which is getting games out in more places, getting games out on PC. They have a whole PlayStation mobile division. They opened up their subscription service with the PlayStation Plus tiers. They have cloud, all of that type of stuff. They know that they need to expand out more so than just console exclusivity. And we also are recently just seeing all of the games as a service games that are in development there, because they're way behind when it comes to multiplayer and games as a service. It is a vital part of a gaming business now to be able to continue to make money on a consistent basis, especially when they have their big first party games costing over $200+ million. And to be able to sustain that, they're going to have to find revenue from other places. And they are doubling down even more now into live services. This is an article here, Insider Gaming, saying that Sony is investing $2.1 billion in gaming R&D and focusing on live services. This is another pivot from PlayStation. This is a report that was published by Nikkei, and they say it was revealed that Sony intends to pour financial resources into gaming research and development to tune of around $2.13 billion. And it's reportedly an investment that's being made before the end of the fiscal year 2024, and it'll account for a whopping of 40% of Sony's entire R&D spend. That is a huge amount of money that they are deciding to spend on research and development within the PlayStation division, within live service games, games that serve, all of that type of stuff, because they can see the numbers in the boardrooms when they're talking about, they're looking at what Xbox has been doing. They're looking at PC market for live services, looking at mobile for live services, all of that stuff where it's continuous money being made. And not just that, it's taking up gamers' time more so than any other games out there, to keep their attention away from the competition. And Sony obviously wants to make more games as a service to keep people locked into the PlayStation network, locked into PlayStation without straying away from it. And I'm sure they're looking at the time that people play a game like The Last of Us or a game like God of War compared to live service games. And then for them, they want to be able to increase all of those numbers. And obviously, games like God of War and Last of Us, they're one and done games. You buy them, you play them. If you buy them physically, you probably trade them, all of that type of stuff. Now, it says here, this is PlayStation's pivot. Basically, for years, PlayStation its bread and butter has been in remarkable single-player exclusives. And I mean, nobody can deny that. They do have great single-player exclusive games, and those have dominated markets globally, but don't typically have much staying power. And we did see one of the biggest things that came out of the Xbox Activision Blizzard documents was redacted information, which was the actual cost of creating these big first-party games, over $200+ million. Now, it says here, according to reports published by Indicator.com, Sony plans to allocate a staggering 60% of all PlayStation 5 development spending on live service games exclusively for the year ending March 2026. And if you remember, Jim Ryan came out previously and said that they were going to have, I think it was 10 live service games by 2026 or 12 or something crazy like that. And if you sit back and you remember the PlayStation Showcase this year, the main focus of it were live service games. So it's all out there. If you're a PlayStation fan, this is where it's going, and you shouldn't be surprised when going forward, the major single player exclusive games are not going to be at the forefront compared to the live service games. And these live service games are probably going to be released on multiple devices, or at least available on PC as well, because that's, you have to get as many players as possible in these live service games. So the other thing that they did explain is that they plan to break into the metaverse in a much more meaningful way. So if you're into that, I'm not at all. That's where Sony is heading. So interesting stuff here, but not surprising. And also not surprising to see this report after the whole FTC stuff, because I think for PlayStation, they were looking at that, like I said, and if this deal does close and go through, they're going to have to greatly accelerate their change in strategy. But I will leave the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.